If your USCIS case has been sitting for months and you keep refreshing that case status page, hoping something will change, you're not imagining it and you are not alone.
Right now, USCIS is sitting on the largest backlog in the agent's history. Over 11 million pending cases. That's a lot. Green cards, work permits, citizenship applications, all in a long line.
And on top of that backlog, there's a court fight happening right now over cases from 75 countries. These countries were frozen and just got unfrozen a few weeks ago.
Wow. So today, we're breaking down exactly why cases are stuck, what normal activity looks like right now for the major forms, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it if your case has been blown past that timeline.
I'm Carlene.
And I'm Ed, and together we have 35 years experience, each one of us. And we're happy that you're here today, and we'll do our best to answer your questions.
So, what does normal look like right now?
Well, let's set a baseline because a lot of people don't actually know what a normal timeline looks like anymore. Everyone just goes, everyone's just saying, well, what happened? What's happening in my case? My cousin, he didn't have to wait so long, and that's very common. You can't go by that.
Exactly. You can't go by what's happening to another person.
Mm.
So, what is exactly the problem? Timelines change constantly. So, here's roughly where things stand up this summer.
So let's start with Form I-130, very popular. It's the family petition. If a U.S. citizen is petitioning for a spouse or immediate relative, you're looking at somewhere in the 10 to 18 month range. If it's a green card holder petitioning or a preference category with visa number limits involved, if you're applying for visas, you know what I'm talking about. That can stretch out much further. We're talking up to 2.5, almost 3 years in some categories.
And let's talk about Form I-485, adjustment of status. Most applicants right now are looking at roughly 8 to 14 months for an I-485 to be processed. And it all depends on the category, it depends on the local office, or whether an interview is required or not.
Honestly, my favorite application, the N400, the citizenship application, naturalization. This is actually one of the better stories right now, and I'm so glad to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
Median processing is down around between 5 to 7 months nationally, which is some of the fastest time it's been in over almost a decade. Now, it depends what field office it's being processed through, but a lot is happening. A lot of speed is going on.
I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that this year we have the primary elections in November. So
Uh,
maybe if you want to apply for your citizenship, now would be a good time to
Now's a
apply.
great time. Don't wait. If you can apply, go
Yes,
do it.
do it now. And then let's talk about the I-765, which are the work permits. The base processing time is short, maybe sometimes 2 months in a lot of categories, but not always. And renewals of some categories are eligible for an automatic extension for up to 180 days if USCIS doesn't act on time. So don't panic if your card is expired because maybe you are inside that window.
These are all important things to check. But the takeaway here is that there's no single, oh, USCIS is slow story. Some categories are actually moving faster than they were 2 years ago. Others are seriously backed up, like we started to tell you. So you have to know where your specific case sits.
Right. So now, why are cases stuck? So what is a holdup? There are really three things layered on top of each other right now because to cause this
Yeah,
holdup.
sure, sure. Well, the first thing, number one, plain volume and staffing. 11 million pending cases doesn't just happen because officers got lazy. They're not lazy, they're very hard workers. It's application volume outpacing their capacity. There's only so many government workers and a
Right.
whole lot of applications. And year after year, it compounds, it grows, it grows, it grows, it grows, it grows.
And number two, the request for evidence. You all know what that is. It's just immigration asking for additional documentation. A request for evidence alone can add weeks or months to a case. And it's one of the most avoidable delays out there. Incomplete evidence, an inconsistent date, a missing signature, any of these can trigger a request for evidence. So therefore, it's very important that when you do your application, try to make sure it's in perfect condition to avoid an RFE.
Yes, perfect. And underline it. And number three, and this is the big one right now, Policy-driven holds. At the start of this year, USCIS paused review of pending applications for nationals of an expanded list of countries under a policy memo. That wasn't a processing backlog. That was a deliberate freeze on certain countries.
That's right. And here's the update. Because this is moving fast, in early June, a federal judge ruled that freeze on immigrant visa adjustment of status adjudications covering nationals from 75 countries, from these countries we're talking about, was unlawful. So the government has already appealed.
We'll see where that goes. But in the meantime, USCIS has been directed to resume processing those suspended applications. So if you're a national of one of the affected countries and your case has been sitting frozen since the start of the year, it's worth checking on right now. That pause may no longer apply to you.
That's right. And this is a great example of why you can't just accept it's frozen as a final word. Policy holds get challenged in court all the time, constantly. What was true in January is not necessarily true right now in July.
I have to interrupt though, but this reminds me of when our daughter was in school when she was very young in the second, third grade. The teachers always tell them, you get what you get and you don't get upset. That doesn't apply anymore. That does not apply. You check what you've got and get upset and do something about it and take
Exactly.
action, right?
Exactly.
Too many times have we seen people, oh, what's happening? What's going on with my case? What's going on in my case? Oh my goodness, this could have been resolved 5, 6 years ago. Why'd you wait so long?
Right.
There's that joke about the dentist. If you ignore your teeth long enough, they'll go away. It's true. The problem will go away and your teeth will go away too. So take action. Anyway, quick related note for anyone with a pending I-485 tied to a family or employment category. The visa bulletin, you should learn about the visa bulletin. It's very important. Matters just as much as USCIS processing times.
So listen to this. This month, USCIS is using the final action date chart. Remember, there are two charts. And there's the dates for filing chart. That's typical toward the end of the government's fiscal year, where things get more conservative. Prior to the dates get moved slowly now, more slower than before. And sometimes they don't move at all. So remember to check the charts to see which date, which chart immigration is moving.
So even a perfectly processed case can't move forward if your priority date isn't current yet. That's not USCIS being slow. That's visa number availability, which is a completely different bottleneck.
So two different problems, two different solutions. Know which one you're dealing with before you panic.
That's right.
So now what can we actually do? That's what we need to talk about. We know that you came here to learn exactly what we can do. Okay. So,
well, step one, confirm you're actually outside normal processing time before you do anything else. USCIS publishes they publish processing times, and they do it by form, category, and office. Now, if your case is inside that window, an inquiry usually won't do much. What are they going to say? They say, well, it's not ready yet. We're not ready yet. But you just have to wait it out.
Right. Now, if you're outside that window, step 2 is a case inquiry directly with USCIS, submitted online through your account. Everybody should try to get a USCIS account.
Yes.
And make sure you have that. If you don't know how to do it, contact us. We'll help you to create one. And so when you have that account, it creates an official record if you do an inquiry that you flag the delay, and always remember to keep that confirmation.
And step 3, if the online inquiry doesn't move things, contact your congressional representative's office. Every member of Congress has a staff who handle casework. They handle this type of immigration casework, and they do it for their constituents. They do it for anyone within their territory. If you submit a privacy release form and their office can formally inquire on your behalf, that's a good start. This generally works, especially for cases that appear to have fallen through the cracks.
Right. And step 4 is the USCIS Ombudsman Office. And this is a separate channel from Congress designed specifically for unresolved processing problems. You must submit a case assistance request with your receipt number, the history, and they can escalate on your behalf.
Right. And none of these guarantee a faster decision. And there are never any guarantees in
Right.
immigration. But they create pressure. They create a paper trail. And honestly, a case that's been sitting silently is a very different type of case from where the three separate channels are now asking USCIS what's going on, right? They get a lot of pressure now from three different
Right.
sources. That's what you want. You want to put pressure, right?
Exactly. So now, if none of these work, there's one more thing that you could do. It's called a writ of mandamus. So what
Well,
is that?
in just in plain terms, it's a lawsuit filed in federal court, and it's asking the judge to order USCIS to actually make a decision on your case. It doesn't ask the judge to prove your case, just to force USCIS to act one way or the other.
So this isn't the first move for most people, and it's not something you do without an attorney. But for cases sitting years beyond normal processing time with no explanation, it is a real and often effective tool. And in a lot of cases, just a complaint being filed will push USCIS to adjudicate before it even gets before a judge.
All right. So if your case fits this pattern, significantly outside normal processing times, inquiries going nowhere, no RFE, no public policy hold explaining it, that's a conversation worth having with your attorney.
Okay,
And what one of the things that we learned? Okay, you do not accept what comes directly to you. You have to fight for everything. Fight, ask, consider taking legal action. Talk to your attorney. Do things. Take action. You get what you get, and don't get upset. No, that doesn't
right.
apply.
Take action. And also remember now that there are times that we can control the delays, okay? So I don't want to say it's self-inflicted, but remember that if you're filing something with USCIS, make sure the file is complete. Every required document, every required fee, current fee amount. Remember that if fees have increased, you have to give them the right fee increase. Submit that with USCIS. USCIS will reject an outdated fee outright. All it does is just restart your clock.
So respond to the RFEs immediately. Don't throw any documents away. Don't ignore documents away. It's only going to get worse. And a heads up, if you're watching this near when it's posted, there's a new federal rule taking effect around this time on signatures. If you
Right.
can imagine, just
Yes,
signatures.
just signatures.
USCIS can now deny, not just reject, a filing with an invalid signature, even after they've already accepted it. And there's no fix it after the fact option anymore. You can't say, "Oh, give it back," and I'll white it out. None of that. Handwritten signature on the actual form every time. Don't let a technicality cost you a filing fee and months of waiting. I have seen it thousands of times. People have lost their cases, had severe delayed cases because of foolish little things.
Sure. Yes. And remember, July 10th is when this signature goes into effect, which means that you need to submit original signatures to USCIS, not DocuSign signatures or photocopy signatures. Okay, this is very important. Also, remember one more thing that whenever you can, try to do premium processing, especially for the I-129s and the I-140 categories. I know it's not cheap, but it will guarantee that USCIS will answer your case or respond to your case within 50 days, okay? Or else they'll give you the money back.
Well, you've heard us now. We've handled excuse me, removal cases, waivers, family petitions, investor visas, asylum cases, but 35 years each, and we've seen it. We've seen it all. So if you think that your case is stalled, and why don't you just contact us and we'll take a look at it, we'll examine it, and we'll see if it's something silly like a signature problem or something else.
Right. And the delayed stuff doesn't tell you which one you're dealing with. That's just part of getting a professional set of eyes to look at your file before you submit it.
Sure.
Okay, so if you're really stuck, try to get some help before you decide your next move. Okay?
Yeah, this is really important because I don't do my own taxes. I give my taxes to a professional. I don't do any medical procedures on myself. I go to a doctor. And
That's
this is
right.
one of those situations where you really should get professional help. It's not easy. Most of the cases, or I say a lot of the cases that we handle, are cases by people that tried to do it themselves and they made a mess of things. And now we're trying to correct it. And instead of getting their decision in a couple of years, they've waited a decade and a half
Exactly.
because they try to do it themselves. Now, that's just been my experience, and we've seen it, How many times have we
Yeah,
seen that?
over and over again in this business. So if this has helped you to understand what's going on with USCIS right now, hit subscribe. We cover breaking immigration news like this every single week. And we cover it in English and Spanish, and we can help you. So we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks for listening.